and where are you from?
Hey, my name is Jeff Cook. I'm an ecologist here on the Indian River Lagoon. I'm from Cape Canaveral, Florida. I'm 60 years old, and I captained a tour guide boat out here on the Indian River Lagoon. So we talk a lot about the ecology, not so much about climate change, but definitely about the ecology. And I have seen it. Like I said, I grew up right down here, right down the road here. And,
right here on the Space Coast.
Right here on this road behind you.
Right on the border of Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, right on it, right on the beach. So yeah, over the years of watching the progression of population, rocket launches, things of those nature. I've seen not a dramatic change, but I've seen it change. I know the water's very fickle when it comes to I don't know. I guess climate change. I've noticed the river over the last 20 years go from 100% to like 0%, and this is due to the warming of the water.
What 100% what?
Well, 100% it was beautiful. It was beautiful. You could fish, you could kayak, you could boat. Now, if you go down there and look at the river, it's brown. I mean, it's dookie brown.
So it went from healthy to muddy.
To very muddy, very silty. A lot of brown algae. Brown algae's kicked off when it's warm, and I mean, the river hasn't been the same in 6 years.
What's the name of that river?
This is the Banana River right behind us here. Yeah, Banana River and Indian River. But yeah, they've taken a whack with the environmental climate change.
Have you seen a change in the fishing
fishing, fish kills. We had fish kills during the cold snap. We've had fish kills. I mean, yearly. I know this. Yearly, we've had fish kills, and this is due to the water being warm. The water doesn't cool down to oxygenate it. It heats up, and it produces the brown algae. The brown algae runs rampant, deoxygenates, kills seagrasses. Manatees are perishing. Manatees are perishing because there's no seagrasses. No seagrasses because the algae blocks the sunlight from penetrating the seagrass. And yeah,
what about birds? Have you seen any change in the migration?
Yeah, the migratory patterns of birds is about the same. We see the same species that come here and and roost for their winters and leave. So I'm not going to say it's taking a big whack on pelican population, because that's like our biggest migratory here. Yeah, as far as being optimistic, there's hope.
Well, let's say on a daily basis, how concerned are you on a daily basis? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most concerned.
I don't think it's 7. I mean, it's 7. It's you have these. I don't know. We got a lot of air traffic that comes over this coast here. We launch a lot of rockets. We're in between Space Force bases. A lot of activity going on. World's busiest cruise port right down the road. So there's a lot of emissions from cruise ships. That's changed too. That went from being probably the coolest place to ever to go and hang out and fish as a kid to I don't even want to go down there anymore because it's just so busy and so. You'll smell it. You go down there and you'll smell it. You'll smell the oils and the fuels from the fuel tanks and farms down there. So that's definitely having an effect on the water quality, and it's definitely having an effect on the atmosphere. I mean,
there's more rockets going off, SpaceX and all that.
Well, last year, 2022, we launched more rockets from this facility than anywhere in the world. So, I mean, it does kind of affect this area. My wife's convinced that these are chemtrails, and then if you look up, you'll see there's 100 of them flying right over us.
And
I mean,
and then for the future, I mean, is there anything we can do? And are you optimistic or pessimistic?
I'm optimistic. I figure folks like you, folks like me, get out there and spread the word and chit-chat and talk about things, of this nature. We can't leave it up to the politicians to see what they're doing. It's going to have to be on an individual basis. And then from that individual basis, this is where you reach out and you grab your friends and they grab their friends, and this is where the change has got to start. It's going to have to start.
So you think it's going to start with the people changing their minds?
Sure, it's got to start with the people changing their minds. Sure. I mean, nobody wants to be holed up in their house because it's too hot to go outside, and nobody wants to come outside if it's too cold. We live in Florida. This has been probably one of the coldest seasons that Florida's experienced, at least since 72, 77 when I was a kid. But I'm optimistic. I think if we gather enough people and start at the local government, I think we can start making changes. Until then, anyways, yes.
Oh, that is fantastic here on the 21st of January outside of Cape Canaveral on the Space Coast of Florida. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.